Thank
So
you
I
very
think, yeah. So I don't know how I'm into another room.
Oh, you are in the main room now, Lourdes.
I'm in the main room now. Oh, because
No
I was.
problem.
May I
Welcome back.
continue?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the present and the future of futures thinking and foresight. So I'm thinking of how it can be interconnected with the past in terms of the professionals in strategic management and strategic planning using the tools in the past, like maybe it's just new, some are new names, but the content reflects some of the things, the tools that have been used in the past. I would like to cite perhaps force field analysis, SWOT analysis, and some other things. And now in futures thinking, we use such terms as backcasting and the PESEL tool, where we also used to in the past. So this is one way of becoming intergenerational in terms of the professionalization of many people in different disciplines for foresight and futures thinking. I don't know if I'm that coherent, but that's what I wanted to say.
Thank you very much, Lourdes. We're going back now to the program that we have. Thank you very much for your remarks. So now we are going to continue with our program. How was it? I hope you had some fun and you had the chance to chat with our awardees for the student recognition program. But now we are going to our second block of awardees, and now we are going to talk about the awards for the Emerging Fellows in the Emerging Fellows program. And for this, we're going to first listen to Patricia Lustig. She's the APF board member in charge of this program, the Emerging Fellows. And she wasn't able, unfortunately, to be with us tonight. But anyway, we're going to listen to her right now. So please, let's listen to Patricia Lustig right now.
So Patricia, can you tell us what is the Emerging Fellows program?
The Emerging Fellows fellowships are awarded to some of the most promising new futurists in order to give them a platform to create and develop their voice and to illustrate current future issues and develop their networks and kind of give them a really good basis and foundation as futurists going forward.
I see. And who is the Emerging Fellows program for?
It's for young in the sense of how long they've been futurists. It's not about age. It'll be people who have graduated or who have been working for several years and have maybe just started on their foresight and futuring journey and want to learn more.
Who would you recommend to apply for this program?
Well, they have to be willing to put in a bit of work because we work on writing, we work on learning more, we work on developing networks, we work on developing skills and tool set, and it is a 3-year program. But if you're somebody who wants support and wants to be part of a great network, then it's probably a good idea to apply.
Patricia, you mentioned that the Emerging Fellows program lasts for 3 years. Maybe you could share with us, what do the fellows do each year of the program?
Okay, the current program, which is indeed 3 years, was developed by the 2021 fellows. This is the program that they wanted. So it doesn't just focus on writing. It focuses on also developing skill sets, mentoring, getting mentored, and developing content knowledge, so learning more about foresight. There is a meeting every month, part of which is on the developing foresight, part of which is developing your voice as a writer, working together, giving each other feedback on their writing. And during that first year, they're expected to research an area that interests them and write 6 articles or blogs, either for APF outlets, as it were, or others and we'll help them find others if they wish. The second year, they have 3 articles to write and a chapter pulling all the research they've done over the last 18 months for a book that we as APF will publish. And they each write their own chapter, and together they write the introduction and the conclusion. So they learn how to write together as a group and how you tie it all together. And then we publish that in their second year. And they will also then start mentoring the people from the first year, from the next cohort. And in the third year, they really are taking it over so that the program becomes sustainable. And we start to build a great network of fellows who can help each other and are available to help things in the APF. And that is part of what's happening for them during the program as well.
Well, that was an amazing idea that the 2021 fellows had. Can you tell us who these fellows are before we get to hear from them in a bit?
Okay, we have 3 fellows from 2021. We have Sheila Castillo, who's from the Philippines, Ana Kyoyoya from Kenya, and Chris Meyer from the USA.
And we also have the newest batch of the fellows for the program, the 2022 Emerging Fellows. Could you please tell us who they are?
Okay, we have 6 of those, and they come from all over the world, and that's really, really wonderful. We have Nok Bunavichit from Thailand, Raquel Valenza from Brazil, Asma Zainal from UAE, Seth Harrell from the USA, Ashish Manwar from India, and Stephen Lichty from Kenya.
That's a very, very global and diverse set of fellows that we have. Maybe, Trisha, you can tell the hopefuls in the audience or people who are interested in applying for this program the following year, how did you choose these fellows, and how can they maybe increase their chances of being selected?
Well, it's important to note that the fellows range in age from possibly late 20s, early 30s, all the way into the 50s. So it's not an age thing. They were chosen by the fellows, the 2021 fellows, and I getting together and discussing the candidates. There were 22 candidates. It was really difficult. And they were judged on the way they answered the questions that we asked. So we asked, for instance, a question about how life is different after COVID to see their writing style. We asked what they wanted from the program, what their preferred areas of research were, and a few other questions. So you start to get a feel for the person, and that's how we made the decision. And it was pretty nearly unanimous. I don't think there was anyone that we didn't agree on. It was just very difficult to choose only 6.
Thank you very much, Patricia, for sharing with us all about the Emerging Fellows program. And we look forward to what the fellows have in store for the coming year.
You're most welcome.
So that was our APF board member, Patricia Lustig, and that was as well Nicole Pareño. She's the secretary to the chair. And I think it's also a good moment to say thank you, Nicole, for all your hard work for this event and for all the team. Thank you very much to all of you guys. And as Patricia said, we have here now our awardees for the Emerging Fellows program. And we will first start with our Emerging Fellows Program awardees for 2021. And first, I want to introduce you, Chris Meyer. So please, Chris, I know you are around. We have Chris Meyer, Sheila Castillo, and Ana Kyoya. So Chris, please go ahead. Welcome and congratulations. You're mute, Chris. There you go.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I couldn't unmute myself. Thanks.
No problem.
So hi, everyone. I'm Chris Mayer. I'm one of the 2021 Emerging Fellows. In this program, I've looked at and written about a variety of topics. So I'll give you a quick rundown of what I've done and some of the other things as well. So I began with exploring a substantial breakdown of social trust and what that would be and what it would be like and what it would mean in terms of impacts over the next decade. And then also looked at how that breakdown in social trust would interact in the future with a significant biodiversity loss. And then from there, we published some blogs on the APF site, Emerging Fellow site. From there, I teach philosophy. So I moved into thinking about how kind of what you learned in an undergraduate philosophy course could enrich foresight practice. So I looked at the competency model, specifically the technical competencies. And I talked about how what you learn about ethical beliefs and the importance of ethics could inform the scanning technical competency and really prioritizing steeple with the ethics component rather than steep. And then also in terms of futuring with the scenarios, how you could use things like the fallacies that you learn in an undergrad philosophy course, like false dilemmas, easy generalizations, and faulty analogies as ways to improve your scenarios. And finally, envisioning how different ethical approaches can help pick preferred futures. Then I wrote about the ethical case for foresight and what ethically we owe future generations and why we have an ethical obligation to practice foresight. And I viewed that from 4 ethical perspectives, a perspective called Painism, ethics of care, John Rawls, and then Aristotle. And recently I've been looking at kind of the future of higher education and the idea of empowering students to thrive in a variety of futures and how colleges and universities might do this. What else we're doing in the program is we're reading Trisha's book, Strategic Foresight, Learning from the Future. So each month when we meet, we talk about our projects, but then we also talk about her book. And it's great to have the author there to answer questions, facilitate our conversation. And so we've learned a lot from her and from each other. And also we've, with other fellows, we've worked on presentations at the Global Foresight Summit. So it's been a great program and I recommend it for others for next year to do it. And if I could answer any questions for anyone who's considering doing it, please let me know.
Thank you very much, Chris, and congratulations again. We also have here Ann Kyoya. Thank you as well, Ann. Welcome, and please just tell us about your work.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, my name is Ann, and I'm one of the emerging fellows in the group. I come from Kenya. My background is in strategic foresight, actually in doctoral program. But I joined this program deliberately just to expand my capacity in especially understanding tools, foresight tools, and how to be a better practitioner. It's not just enough to do the academics. So I joined the Emerging Fellows program. And if you allow me, I'll just make a quick projection here on some of the, I guess you can see if you can see my.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, so let me just walk you through this very briefly. So, and I think Patricia already said basically what this program is all about. So of course we get involved, we meet monthly and we get involved in discussions. We read her book, which has been very instrumental. And we picked diverse tools there, which we have been able to use. But one of the things that I really must say I gained from this, although I am a trained writer in my doctoral level, was how to write impact through future-oriented articles. And to me, that was very important, to be able to see what is in the past and be able to, study the scenario and bring out using different tools and paint the picture as a futurist. And I think to me that is very instrumental to bring out that advocacy voice and educative voice at the same time. And just like Chris have written several articles, I began with solar flare, and a topic I'd never thought about, and began to explore from both scientific and all aspects of research and how things would play out, what it is, what it is important, and how it would look like if it, there was a conflict between, or if solar flare happened to in different contexts. And then I moved on to write about culture, the future of culture. And under the future of culture, I focused on a number of things, particularly in the urban context. And I began to look at how will the urban slangs or the languages coming out, how are they going to pan out in the future? It was very interesting, particularly looking at my context in Africa, African cities. And then I wrote about food and culture, food culture and climate change. Again, that's a different type of culture, particularly focusing on beef. And then I looked at the future of the informal sector and how it's going to contribute to the economy of African economies in African cities. And when I talk of culture here, I'm talking of the things that we see, the artifacts. I'm talking about the values and beliefs. I'm talking about the underlying belief systems. So mainly when I explore different aspects of the future of culture in these scenarios, I then look at those dynamics. It could be an artifact, like for example, language here is an artifact. So what we can see, what we can feel. The food value culture, these are belief system. And then I went further to write also about what makes a futurist professional for the Compass journal. And so basically, I am very excited about the opportunity to sharpen my skills as an author and as a writer. And that's not just all. I've also been doing my own stuff because I'm a consultant in leadership and foresight. And so I did several things. I have had an opportunity to influence very senior security and intelligence leaders and personnel in our government, especially training about foresight and also how to use foresight in strategy development. One of the most exciting things that I did was how I used foresight tools to develop a strategy that actually built a school during COVID when other schools were closing. That school did not close because we were able to map out the 10 most impactful trends that were going to impact the education sector. And that one we did slightly earlier in just before 2019. And I was able to see how that played out in 2020 and even now. And many other projects, as you can see there. I do a lot of organizational culture audit and then foresight and in environmental scanning. And recently, just a few months ago, I began again. I'm passionate about influencing the government using the foresight. I was able to develop, to help one of the leaders to develop a manifesto for 2023-2027. And I wanted to bring out the foresight perspective. So basically, those are my projects. As Tricia said earlier, this is a 3-year project. So I'm looking forward to my next year to write more articles and also write a chapter for a book for the 3 of us, but also continue with these very impactful projects in my context, both regionally and also in my country. And of course, then the 3rd year, I'll continue with mentoring others. I'm also looking forward to passing these skills to others. And let me just make this call as I end. This Emerging Fellow Program is not just so people who have not gone to the level that, doctoral program or PhD. I want to encourage anybody who feels that they need to be given more knowledge, support, mentorship. There are guys here who are very knowledgeable on how to, contextualize all the academic knowledge we have learned back to practitioner. It's not enough just to have a lot of knowledge from the books. It's important to be able to translate what we know in literature to the society. Otherwise, then we will just be futurists by speech. So thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to mentoring other people in the next years to come. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anne. Thank you very much, and congratulations again for this award. And also we have Sheila Castillo. She couldn't be with us today, but I'm gonna read something she sent. So Sheila is a social development professional foresight practitioner, and climate advocate with 20 years of experience in the Philippines and Cambodia. She's an associate of United Edge, a justice-based social enterprise. She's one of the co-founders of the Philippine Futures Thinking Society, Futurists. Sheila is a passionate environmentalist and animal rights activist. In 2017, she was awarded the Climate Reality Luntiang Dahon Greenleaf Award for Climate Leadership. She was also a fellow of the inaugural cohort of Sky Blue Environmental Leadership Program of Common Purpose from November 2020 to March 2021. As an emerging fellow of the Association of Professional Futurists from 2021, Sheila is working on the futures of justice. You can follow her work at the APF blog. She also has an eponymous blog on Medium, where she writes about issues using foresight as tools and justice as lens. So that's the bio for Sheila Castillo, also an emerging fellow awardee 2021. So congratulations to our awardees and an applause again for you. And now we are announcing our 2022 Emerging Fellows awardees. So we have here Nok Unmavichit, we have Raquel Valenza, Asma Sainal, Seth Harrell, Stephen Lichty, and Ashish Mangwar. Congratulations to you all, guys. And first of all, we're going to start with Nok. So please, congratulations again, and tell us about your work.
Thank you, Mauricio. Again, my name is Nopun Navisit. I'm currently a PhD student at the School of Public Policy in Chiang Mai University. And my research started with foresight epistemology. And then I moved on to work on how to apply critical realism as an alternative methodology into tackling air pollution problem in Thailand. And through that, I found that social change as for the air pollution problem is not just to change the structural, but also the perception of our citizen as an activist to fight this kind of problem has to voice their own opinion. And so the third, so my next step is to be exploring on the foresight, internal communication, and social change. And I'm so honored to be part of this Emerging Fellow program, and it's such a great opportunity to exchange ideas and make connection with among the researchers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nok. And again, congratulations for your award. Now we're gonna listen Raquel Valenza from Brazil, right?
Right. Hello.
So go ahead, Raquel. Obrigado.
Obrigada. Nice to meet you. My name is Raquel and I am from Brazil. I live in Curitiba, a capital in southern Brazil. I have been working for 15 years in future studies. I have 2 careers connected with future studies in Brazil. The first one I developed in the industrial sector, and the second in the creative sector. I am researcher coordinator at the FIEP System Observatory, a department of Federation of Industries in Brazil. There I work with long-term planning, foresight, and analytical intelligence. In the creative sector, I work with art and technology. I am writing a book on Culture 4.0. Visual and transmedia futures is the topic that I want to study as emerging fellow. I want to answer some questions in my investigations. The first point is how can we produce transmedia future studies? The second point is how can we design future studies that are visually adequate and attractive to society? The third point is how to improve the performance of futurists to work with transmedia and develop visually adequate products. I think that visual and media literacy is one of keys to democratization of future studies. For me, a picture speaks more than 1,000 words. A framework organized in a drawing can be more resolute than a thesis. Research designed for different media reach thousands of people. Certainly, the world will be more visual and transmedia in the coming years. We need to lead this discussion in this association. I wish to connect with you to produce knowledge and build point opportunities. I am open to cooperation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Raquel. Thank you very much. And congratulations again. Now, please, we're going to introduce Seth Harrell. Thank you very much for being here, Seth. And please just let us know about your work.
Sure, thank you. It's an honor to be selected for the Emerging Fellows Program, and I can't wait to work and get to know my cohort better. I am a relatively recent graduate of the University of Houston program. I live in Missouri, right in the middle of the United States. I've been working on some freelance projects. I've been doing a lot of work, research in the future of food technologies. In the past, I've worked on projects like the future of pipelines. And for some of my student research, I worked on the future of Alzheimer's disease and the future of live sports. So I've had quite a wide variety of topics, but again, that's what's so great about studying the future. I am a musician as well, and one of my last careers that I'm taking a break from was playing John Lennon in an internationally touring Beatles tribute band. But I constantly think about the future. Even when I was a kid in high school, I remember sitting in class, in history class, wondering why there wasn't also a class about the future. It seemed just as relevant, if not more. For the Emerging Fellows Program, one of my ideas that I'd like to try writing about is kind of what I'm calling funny futures, where I want to explore the idea of absurdity and apply it to people's notions of what is plausible, and try to find that line between plausibility and absurdity when presenting scenarios. Because I think if we can understand that better, we can more effectively communicate and expand people's thinking. And I've got lots of other ideas, but I think that's the first one I'll start with. And that kind of was spurred on by a research that I nominated last year for an award for the APF on how to judge plausibility. And also, I believe it was Jim Dater's quote, I believe, about any useful work about the future is going to seem absurd at first, something along those lines, but that's kind of what inspired me. And I can't wait to meet everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Seth. And very interesting that you are also a musician. So thank you very much for your presentation. And now, last but not least, we have Ashish Manwar doing his presentation. So welcome, Ashish. Congratulations. And please, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Mauricio. And hello, everyone. My name is Ashish Manwar, and I'm based just outside of New Delhi in India. And I'm a bit overwhelmed just hearing all of you speak, partly because I feel I stumbled into the fellowship. And the other part of it is it seems so incredible that many of you are able to talk about a specific domain or a topic, because in my mind, I find it very difficult to create a distinguishing feature between one topic and another in terms of future concepts. And the reason I say that is I'm interested in the futures of governance, leadership development, strategic behavior change. My work fundamentally is in the innovation and investing space. And it all translates really into creating the futures of hope. Given that there's been such a huge amount of ambient exhaustion and anxiety and agony over the last few years, I'm trying to find a way of picking a specific series of topics to think and research more. And the context for that really is my work in corporate consulting and design. I'm an aviation engineer by profession, with having done strategic consulting for my in terms of my education and graduate studies. Over time, what I've realized is having taken some time off from work, starting to work with the poor, getting involved with justice systems, local governance, enterprise systems, impact investing, I've had sort of the opportunity to see things from the bird's eye view and the worm's eye view. And that's part of the reason I feel that there's been a sense of exhaustion trying to see so many things change. And part of what I realized after the COVID situation is that working with others in the course of my coaching leaders and individuals is working with other people's agony and pain, whether it's at the retail level or institutional level, is that I think it's useful to take that as courage to come back. And that's my serendipitous opportunity to now be part of the Emerging Fellows community, to pick up on courage and come back and find ways of contributing. So at the moment, I get to have the opportunity to work with India's public health systems, really to see how foresight might work in taking innovation to make public health accessible at a quality, at a high quality across the country. So we're running innovation challenges and so on, but trying to find ways of doing that more effectively. And I'm grateful that I have opportunities to connect with you all. Hopefully we'll have more ways to connect and collaborate. But thank you again.
Thank you, Ashish. And we are grateful with you all. And we actually have 2 more emerging fellows for 2022. They couldn't be with us right now, but one of them is Asma Sainal. She holds a master's degree in sciences of innovation and change management, along with varied professional certifications and diplomas in the fields of strategy, leadership, innovation, and future foresight. Currently, she is pursuing her PhD in business administration. Her growing passion towards future foresight and advanced technologies directed her to build her own page on social media in Arabic and increase awareness about the future, illustrate forthcoming trends, and highlight global futurists. Since 2020, Asma published more than 6 articles in various journals in topics related to innovation, agility, and advanced technologies. She's a co-author of 2 books that were published on leadership and organizational excellence. She will focus on topics related to enhancing future awareness, along with building the right mindset to ensure future readiness. So Asma, congratulations as well. And we also have Steve Lichty. Stephen Lichty, he couldn't be with us right now, but he has over 25 years of experience in international development, research, evaluation, consulting, strategic foresight, and humanitarian response in Africa, Europe, Latin America, Asia, and the Americas. He has doctoral studies in African studies, anthropology, and political theory, graduate studies in future studies, international relations, development, and international business. He's co-founder and managing partner of Real Consulting Group, social architect and founder of the Frontline Group, founder and director of Real Studio, and he has global experience in over 70 countries. So again, to all our awardees from the Emerging Fellows Program 2001 and 2022, congratulations to you all, and thank you for your magnificent work, and an applause to you all again from the distance. Thank you very, very much. So Now we are going to do again something to have a little chat with our awardees. So again, we go to Rebecca Ryan. The stage is yours.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, Mauricio. So, you know, when you're at the Oscars and it's like, you know, there's the build up to the Best Picture Award. We have been building up because after this break, we are coming back for the most significant Futures Award winners, which is, you know, the highest honor that APF bestows every year. But we've got some emerging fellows to meet. I have been gobsmacked by the level of the breadth of experience, the commitment to making their worlds better. So the focus for our next short breakout round, so use the restroom, yes, refill your glass, yes, but we're going to be focusing on our emerging fellows. So fellows, I just put the instructions in the chat. If you would please just remind people what your primary interests are. It was a lot to remember. Not everybody took notes like this nerd over here. So, and then futurists, what can you offer that might help? Maybe it's a connection, maybe it's a network connection, maybe it's a, you know, a link, maybe it's time with you as a mentor. And we encourage you again to share your information because our fabric, our strength of helping each other is what helps keep this network strong. Okay, so when we come back, Most Significant Futures Award, we'll see you in a few minutes. Open those breakout rooms. This is the real-time play-by-play. Each of the emerging fellows is being added to a breakout room right now. And then you will either have the opportunity as an attendee to join a breakout room, or you will be moved to a breakout room.
So, welcome again, everybody. I think we're slowly starting to coming back here to the main room. Thank you very much for being with us. And again, I know for some of you it's very late at night. For some of you it's very early in the morning. For some of you, it's whatever time you are right now having. We are very glad that you are having that time with us. So thank you very much for being with us at this very moment. And I hope you enjoyed your time with our Emerging Fellows awardees. And hopefully you had some time to interchange some social media or maybe contact data. And now we are going to our next block. Also a very important one. And now we are going to recognize our most significant Futures Works awards. And so for this, we have the most significant Futures Works team, and the chair of this team is Andy Hines. We also have Tim Balco, Laurent Bonteau, Jim Bro, Jason Crabtree, David Hammond, Robin Jordan, David Callis, Jan Klakurka, Jim Lee, Chris Meyer, Emma Bride, Guillermina Baena, Daniel Pesut, Mónica Porteano, Gabriel Rizzo, Laura Schnober, Johan Schutt, Sarah Skidmore, and Doris Biljoin. Thank you very much for all the team, and for announcing the winners, we have here Andy Hines. Welcome, Andy. Thank you very much.
All right, well, thanks for having me. Let me just kick off with a couple of remarks about the program itself. I'll share a couple slides. It's only going to take a couple minutes, but I think it's good to just make sure we know what exactly are we doing here with this program. So without further ado, we have three purposes. We want to promote the field to clients in the general public. We started back in 2007. So we've been running strong for about 14, 15 years now. We also want to recognize the work of professional futurists and others who write about the future. And I counted, we've recognized 44 winning teams. Now there may be more individuals, but 44 winning teams over the years. And let me say one thing. I think people like to get prizes. This is a winning thing, right? Giving people prizes to recognize their work, it's just a win, right? And of course, we want to promote APF. We just went through thanks for going through the judges for us. That's great. And I'll just mention our core committee, myself, Jennifer, Robin, and Sam. We've been together for several years now. There's basically three different criteria that categories we use. First is the methodology one, practice and methodology. The second is looking at a futures issue, the future of something. And then third is kind of the grab all for the creative designy stuff. And we usually look back, recently we've been looking back in the last 2 years or so. And below you can see we've got basically 5 criteria, and we have standards underneath each of those, but I think it's enough just to get the idea of how the judges are asked to do that. And it's just so awesome that we were able to recruit 19 judges. I mean, it's amazing, right? So that said, we've got some winners, and I did want to note that we had 15 nominations this year, so we needed those 19 judges, because we like to go through and have at least 2 people review every piece. We do also, you see at the bottom, we do give a prize of a 1-year membership in the APF, so that's a really nice thing as well. And I think we have some good news. I think my colleague here from the program is going to introduce our first winner, because I don't think we have anyone physically present from the first team. Is that correct? I believe we have a video, right?
Yes, I think I saw a note that Adam Gordon sent a video.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I had a problem with my mic. Yes, we have a video from Adam Victor. Adam Victor Gordon. Adam Gordon is a faculty in strategic foresight at Aarhus University in Denmark. His academic area is foresight methods and their relationships with strategy, innovation, and leadership decision-making. Adam has lectured at over a dozen universities, including INSEAD, Aalto, and Monash, and designed and taught master, executive, and in-company futures and foresight programs at 12 institutions over 20 years. He has been a director of faculty and executive education departments and managed university external partnerships and advised many companies and government departments. Adam is editor of the IEEE Journal Special Edition on Strategic Foresight, and editorial board member of Futures and Foresight Science. He's a graduate of the University of Houston at the Master in Strategic Foresight, INSEAD, its MBA, and the University of Cape Town Graduate School of Business, its PhD. So here we go.
Hello, PF members. Good to be with you. I'm Adam Gordon. It's going to be past midnight my time by the time you get there. And today is the day I get my 3rd jab. So I'm sure to be away with the fairies. So apologies for being here only in video, but really, really happy and honored to be recognize, along with my colleagues René Robeck and Jan Oliver Schwartz, in this. And I think the thing about recognition is really not having, but what you do next with it, what it enables. So let me just say that if there are people out there who are interested in this intersection between design thinking and strategic foresight and want to go further with it in terms of practical application or research applications, please be in touch and let's move forward. So the paper, the faster horses problem in design thinking, we attacked it from that point of view. This is where we felt there's a vulnerability in design thinking, good method as it is and well established now, and there's no question. And in a sense, it's been built into the foresight field, I think, fairly successfully. But in terms of what design thinkers do, we felt there was a gap there, and the gap expressed by this, I think, apocryphal Henry Ford quotes, where they was asked whether he does client customer focus groups in building automobiles, and he poo-pooed that. He said basically, if I had asked them what they wanted, they would have said, we want faster horses. Therein being the problem that your customers, your clients, your users are not necessarily going to take you to they're not going to let you see the leap or the disruption, the gap between what exists today and what potentially can exist tomorrow, it not being, as it were, just a straight line elaboration. So design thinking, then looking as it does, particularly in its initial phases, in terms of observing the clients, observing the customer, empathizing, noticing their pain points, noticing their preferences. That's all well and good, but it assumes a continuity in the underlying environment, and that continuity, I don't think, as we would all know, can't be assumed. So to this, we bring essentially the strategic foresight processes, and in two ways. One being the 6-step framework of Hines and Bishop. So we're standing on shoulders of giants here. And this is also the APF framework, and also the 3 Ps framework of René Robeck, also well established in the field, and I think in itself independently a recipient of an APF acknowledgement, APF award. So we bring these two well established foresight frameworks to bear on the design thinking process, particularly in its initial phases, and we go, okay, so this is how you marry them together, and particularly using the idea of probing, René's idea of probing, and we build a framework where, in fact, you can augment design thinking in this using the tools of strategic foresight, and it's there for you to see and read. And I really appreciate any time that you do spend on it. I suppose one more thing while I'm here, and I have a sort of one or two things to say and share with you all in this time, in this few minutes. And we look at it's the end of year for APF, and we look at sort of what we value and what we're doing. Let me say this: I think there's a lot of important things to say. Obviously, are in terms on the content side, in terms of the future and the kinds of things we aspire to, and the kinds of things we want the future to be in terms of sustainable and egalitarian and in all kinds of ways, and that's fine and that's good. And I do think we should obviously be on the side of the angels here and support that. But fundamentally, or at least let's not forget that in a sense, the sort of the real contribution of the professional futurist or the academic, or like me, pre-academic futurist, is to be in command of the methods, so that when people are discussing ideas or debating, or they're in the culture wars, or these ideas are being thrown around, we can say, oh, in fact, there is this method about thinking about the future, or understanding the relationship between cause and effect, or understanding fully what a scenario can do for you, or why a Delphi analysis matters, or how horizon scanning actually helps this process. where this is where we can, as it were, this is our ninja skill, or our comparative ninja skill, is to bring these methods to bear, to understand them, where they apply, how they apply, and to apply them more so than to, as it were, get involved in the sort of the discussion about ideas. So I share that thought with you as a sort of perspective from a now veteran APFer. So thank you for the recognition. Thank you to the APF for being there and doing what it does. Congratulations to the other award winners, and appreciate your time, and hope to be in touch one way or another with. Hello.
Okay, well, let me go ahead and introduce our second winners. And Adam reminded me of something, like one of the key benefits of the program. I get asked a lot, what does good futures work look like? And now we can just send a link to our page, and we have 44. We have 44 historical examples of what good futures work looks like. I mean, that's an amazing library. And I remember when we started that was what we were hoping for someday, right? So anyway, we got more work to do on that, but we're definitely off to a good start. So our second winning team, also in the methods in practice category, was Our Futures by the People for the People. Well, of course, that had to win, right? And we have Jose Ramos and John Sweeney here with us tonight, and their colleagues Katie Peach and Laurie Smith are here in spirit. So I'll turn it over to Jose and John.
Great, thanks so much, Andy. It's great to see you and to be with everyone here at the APF meeting. Am I coming through okay? Can you hear me? So, yeah, I'm in a cafe. So look, first of all, it's just so great to see the future studies field evolve and mature. And I think the APF has been a critical part of that. So really congratulations to all the people in the APF that have done that work to make that happen. I think it's so important to have friends. We're a professional group of people, but friends make it possible. And I think the friendship and the connections keep us going and allow us to support each other, even when things get a little rough or when we're trying to find our way through. So I just want to emphasize that. I really want to say thank you. It's lovely. And I want to accept this award on behalf of many other people who made this possible. So first of all, Nesta is really a powerful leader in the world in innovation. They work on areas like collective intelligence, digital democracy, very disciplined, very amazing group of people. And it was really wonderful to work with Kathy Peach and Laurie Smith. They taught us a lot, both about the process and the discipline in developing a report like this, but also their vision. They have a very strong, powerful vision for social change. And I think that really comes through in the report. And I really was led by them in so many different ways. The other person I think needs to be, it was just amazing to work with John Sweeney, a really brilliant practitioner and someone with an incredible passion for the field, incredible knowledge, but also just a hardcore innovator in the field. He's developed serious gaming processes with clients all over the world. And so just working with him was such a treat and so amazing. It's such a learning journey. And also there was the Global Swarm. So it was a team that really came together to do the research. We discovered over 200 examples of participatory futures around the world because we really wanted to scan and see what was out there. And we had a team from all over the place. That included Pupil Bisht, that included Dr. Aaron Rosa, that included Dr. Anissa Abdullah, that included Daniel Rivion, that included Donna DuPont, that included Jacques Barcia, that included Gareth Friday. So, you know, there was a whole team there that really made that report possible. And I think just to kind of cap that off, some people say the key to success is to hang out with people who are smarter than you. And I think in the case of this work, that was definitely the case for me. The other bit is that over the last 2 years, there's been we've basically done a little bit of work to make this more of a community. So we've got this thing called the Participatory Futures Global Swarm. We've got, several hundred people in the network now. We run events and stuff. And that's been really lovely. And we actually want to create a co-op from that community. So that's really exciting to be in that aspect. I think the only other thing that I'll say is it was very easy to be inspired by all the examples around the world. Some of them, many of them, are actually not in formally future studies. So it was great to kind of expand that circle and to learn from all these inspiring examples. There's a lot of things that we can say about participatory futures. I don't really think I need to go into that because there's the report and it kind of says it itself. I really think I need to hand over to you, John. So over to you.
Thanks so much, Jose. Well, I'll say probably the only thing that Jose didn't cover is that as the first author of the report, he was fundamentally the foundation for being able to deliver the research and the insights, of course, that were produced by many hands. So I absolutely want to commend his effort, and also want to note that Jose really brought, his 20 years of experience. So a lot of the frameworks in the report, a lot of the thinking that went into the development of a game, which is based on the report, also drew heavily on, of course, his work and, of course, his leadership throughout the project. If you're not familiar with the report, I suggest, of course, there are different ways to approach and dive in. There are lots of case studies, as Jose had mentioned. There are a number of different frameworks for how to think about constructing, designing, crafting participatory futures engagements. There's actually a bit of a stab at an evaluation framework relative to participatory futures. And then we actually ended up building, as Jose mentioned, a game, and we've run different gaming sessions on different thematic issues. We've been running them pretty consistently with the United Nations Development Program. And we really see it as an opportunity to socialize futures from the perspective of how might we engage others in thinking about futures processes and doing futures in ways, of course, beyond workshops and ways that use non-traditional means or different modes and means of participation. So I think what I'm most excited about and most thankful for is the opportunity to keep the conversation going about how we can, further innovate in the field and find more ways to democratize futures thinking. So I absolutely want to thank the APF for this immense privilege and honor, and really hold up, all of the amazing work that everyone is doing, and really thank Andy and everyone for the opportunity to get accolades from colleagues. Really, there's no greater honor. So thanks so much, and really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
You're still muted, Andy.
And that was a one-of-a-kind thing that we're never gonna know. Okay, so our third winner rather, in the category of analyzing a significant future issue is on foresight investing. And let me say something about this. I'm really excited because if you've been around long enough, you probably had the snarky comment, "But yeah, you can't pick stocks." Well, now we can. Bring it, baby, because Jim can do it, and we have an answer for that. So thank you very much for helping us in our daily life, Jim.
Goodness. Well, wow. Thank you so much. So my name is Jim Lee. I'm the founder of Strategic Foresight Investments. We're a boutique investment advisory firm focused on what happens next. And this is really remarkable. Thank you so much for this recognition. I'd like to thank my editor, Sydney Wagner, who's always made my writing better, and also nominating member Andy Hines, of course. Also, Peter Bishop, for believing that I was onto something when I first came up with some of these ideas as a student at University of Houston back in 2006. So I would also like to give special recognition to COVID-19 for giving me the time and the space to finish a book that was 15 years in the making. This is the textbook that I always wanted for myself, but it simply didn't exist before now. So the goal of my book is to introduce foresight techniques to the investment community and to quantify the benefits of thinking like a futurist. And what I've learned is that different time frames require the use of different investment tools. And if you're going to go short term, you need to understand market psychology. This helps with your timing of entry and exit points. If you're thinking midterm, maybe 3 months to 3 years, it's useful to have the skill set of a financial analyst. And I talk about that, and this helps figure out what to buy and sell. But if you want to think about the real big opportunities of the next decade or two, then this is where being a futurist is really helpful. So I'm only slightly joking when I call it my cookbook of half-baked ideas, okay? Because I think you all know by now that being a futurist doesn't work unless you're a little crazy, okay? But the truth is that foresight's the secret sauce that will make you better at almost anything you do, whether it's investment management, design, public policy, or leading an organization. The APF is just this amazing global tribe, and you can get a sense of that tonight, of incredible people. And I'm hoping to see everyone at our next live gathering. Thanks again.
Well, thank you very much, Jim, and all of our winners tonight for sharing. And again, the judges, core team, making it all happen. Well done, and I'll pass the baton back to our MC.
Thank you very much, Andy. And as you said, congratulations to all of our awardees. Again, Adam Gordon, René Rohrbeck, Jan Schwartz, Jose Ramos, John Sweeney, Kathy Peach, Laurie Smith, and Jim Lee for all their work. Thank you very much. Congratulations. And of course, to Andy Hines and all the team working for this and all the judges. And now we're going for once more to our breakout rooms. So before that, we go to Rebecca again. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mauricio. So this is going to be a little more randomized. This really is just bumping into people on the way to and from the bathroom. So I am putting the chat reminder in here. This is very much like our member roulettes that we host once a month. But this is, who are you and where in the world are you? What are you working on? And let's be brief because we only have a few minutes. And then if you have offers to help each other, please be generous, right? Our generosity, our compassion, our sense of abundance is how we're going to build better futures, brighter futures, which are so in need now. So whenever you're ready, open up those breakout rooms. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful to have you back in here. We're almost done for today. It's been a wonderful event, but we have some words from our vice chair, Tanya Schindler. Tanya, please.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Mauricio, for this, hosting this amazing event. And I want to especially thank you again here, Nicole and her team. I think she hasn't slept for the last 5 days. I don't remember, because with executive committee had 2 weeks ago, they were like, we need to do something at the end of the year. We cannot stop like that, and we need to get some more of the awareness to all of our award winners. So yeah, I cannot thank all the people who volunteer their work on time, but also who's now on the staff of the APF to work and build this with us. And we are just, in the breakout session that I've been concluded a little bit. And I really believe as well that what we achieved this year is to shift the APF and spread it really in the more global way. We had beginning of this event with all of the hosts, 4 continents of Mauricio in Latin America, Rebecca in North America. I'm in Europe. It's 3:17 a.m. in the morning, and with Sherman in Asia Pacific. But most of the times, Sherman in Asia Pacific, or my friends from Australia, because I did my master's there of strategic foresight, has to suffer a little bit of the time differences. So I said, okay, this time Europe has to take the deal and stay up awake at night. And I think this is also something we need to try more and bring global events with different time zones to broaden this community. But what I really also learned today is, what amazing futures work we do. And I think that is on us also to share and to spread this, and also to learn from the next generation, because I mean, their designs on the presentations, really, really well done. And I think this is really where we futurists can learn from, how to communicate and to spread our word by putting this in such design. This just reaches more people. So I want to give you a really small outlook what we've planned next year, but in general, it's about, what we started this year. And when Sharon and I took this on, it was all about figuring out where the APF is and where we really want to go. And I think the goal was to spread it globally. Next year, I will try my duty. What I also tried this year is to update our website and put a bit more of our members' work there. What are all of you doing? How can we share and connect there? I'm really looking forward to that. And we have 2 or 3 amazing events coming up. We have the Toronto Gathering. We might planning another one in a different spot in the fall. And we have the Futures Festival we really want to bring on again, because this was one joy of diversity again this year. And now I can only say thank you, and thank you to you all to put your passion and your work into future thinking and spreading this into the world to create better futures and positive futures and encourage people to think differently. And if we apply these principles to us and to the APF and challenge ourselves and experiment with things that we haven't done before, even if everything works out, I think that's great. We have to try new things. We have to be more inclusive, and we have to challenge ourselves in the thinking. So thank you all for being here, for supportive, and we really hope to see you all next year. Bring in 5 more people each so we can grow and spread our thinking. And thank you all for being here. And I put it back, Mauricio, for the last closing words. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanya. And well, we're almost done with this event, and we're almost done with this year. So congratulations to you all. Happy holidays. And I hope you all have a wonderful start of 2022. We're almost there. And let's see what the future and the futures hold for us and for everybody. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, and night. And Sherman, you want to say something else?
Yeah, I did my welcome remarks. So again, thank you very much, Hiraya Manowari. Let's keep on doing this. Let us keep the spirit high. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. So happy holidays. See you soon, all of you. Thank you very much for being here. And congratulations to the awardees.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That's a great idea.
Cheers to us.